Now that was quite the unexpected announcement at the end of Drifters. I did not think we would get a Season 2 announcement, at the very least, this early, because there's not a whole lot of content left to adapt. Definitely not enough content to adapt for a full season, unless Season 2 is going to be anime original or go down a path of just knowing kind of what's going to happen next. Maybe, you know, the animators and the production team will ask the mangaka and say, where are you going to take the story? And maybe they might animate that. Because, I mean, right now, with the announcement of a Season 2, there's just no way they could probably make a Season 2 this upcoming year in 2017. I just highly doubt it. Unless chapters just start getting pumped out constantly, I just don't think so. We definitely don't have enough content to continue the series. But there was an announcement, though, so we'll see where that goes. But at the time, though, there is no given date when it is coming out. It doesn't even state if it's coming out in 2017, because at the end of the episode, it says Season 2 announced, and it gives us, like, 20XX, so it doesn't let us know exactly what's going on there. We don't know if it's going to come out 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, maybe it can come out 2099, I don't fucking know. I'm just saying that there was a Season 2 announcement, and we don't really know how long it's gonna be until we get that season because of the content. We don't know if they're going to go anime original, or if they're going to wait until the manga builds up. We'll see where that goes. So I'm glad to see an announcement, though. I would love to see a continuation of Drifters, because it's been a very good anime. I've enjoyed the series overall, and I think majority that have stuck through it to this very episode will probably enjoy the series as much as I have. The only big concern many have with the series, as I've talked about already, is, you know, the comedy. I think that's the big thing about the series, is the comedy with the tone shifts. And if you can get over that, then I think everybody can say they enjoy the series, if you get over that one part of Drifters. Now, with this episode, it's like a perfect stopping point. I assumed that Drifters would end at this point. I remember reading this in the manga, and I was thinking, like, this would probably be, like, where they're gonna stop the anime at. Since it's gonna be, like, you know, 12 episodes and all that, it just feels like the fight between Toyohisa and Hijikata would be the perfect way to conclude Season 1 if they ever were to make a Season 2. And that's exactly how it ended. And, I mean, I'm glad they ended it right here. At the very least, the adaptation of Drifters has been very solid. It's followed the manga for the most part from what I can personally remember. I mean, it's been a while since I read the manga, but everything I remember, to the Hijikata fight, to the Toyohisa stuff, to the, you know, the Black King and all that, all the stuff I remember, everything right here, you know, this has all been adapted. So I'm glad to see that the anime followed the manga in terms of pacing-wise, no rushing. It was a really good adaptation, and I'm completely satisfied with what I got. Even if I never got a Season 2 of Drifters, which it was already announced, so we are getting one, even if a Season 2 is never announced, I'm actually satisfied with this first season, because it's good enough adaptation to where I can say, you can watch the first season of Drifters, and then you could just dive right into the manga, because usually when I read a manga, I've been watching anime that's from that manga, and I've already read the manga, and I'm watching anime, and it's, like, rushed or something, I tend to say, like, don't watch the anime, because it's fucking trash, and just go out of your way and read the manga from chapter 1 up to the, you know, the current chapters. That's usually what I say when I, you know, recommend a series. I'm like, there's no point in, you know, watching the anime, because it's just trash, it's not as good as the manga, and I can't say that about Drifters. It definitely is a good adaptation, it's a great anime. I mean, the only bad thing about it, like I've already stated, is just the tone shifts to the comedy. If you can get over that, it's a really great series. It has its own little issues here and there, but it's a great series, and it definitely is something that keeps consistent with its message and what it's trying to do with its story. So, I mean, I feel like many are going to be satisfied with this. And, I mean, if you really do want to read the manga, I do recommend reading it. It's a really good manga, and, I mean, you don't need to start from chapter 1 and be worried that some things were missed, because from all I remember, everything was adapted right, and also with the anime, too, with the way it concluded, you can just dive right into the manga and see what's going on. If I'm correct, there's about maybe 19 chapters, I think, 17 or 19 chapters ahead of where the anime ended, like, you know, where we're at right now, it's about 17 to 19 chapters ahead, and if I'm correct, I think this anime adapted like 40-something chapters. I think. It adapted like 45 chapters, if I'm correct. So, it's not really... There's not enough content, as you could see, to make a Season 2 at this time. If they spent 12 episodes adapting 45 chapters, obviously with only like 17 to 19 chapters over the anime, that's just not enough content to make a Season 2. They would need another 45 chapters, maybe 40 at the minimum, to be able to make it. So when you think about it like that, just, yeah, we're probably not going to see one for a good long while, unless they decide to make OVAs, like, OVAs throughout the years. Maybe they'll make, like, 2 OVAs here and there, and then next year they'll make 2 OVAs. That's a possibility. I've seen something like that before, too, where, studios, they'll instead try to make OVAs instead of making actual, television run series, because it's easier to make OVAs. You could space them out, and you could put a lot more time into them. They're usually higher budgeted, and on top of that, too, I mean, you can just, wait until content builds up, instead of constantly stopping each season, and maybe rushing it and just, destroying the series. So I could see something like that definitely happening with Drifters. So with all that being said, I will say, though, that I did like the animation. Like, the production team that's been working on Drifters, they did a good job with it. I mean, there was a little bit of drops in quality here and there throughout the journey of Drifters, the anime, but overall, though, it seems like the production team that was working on Drifters clearly cared about this series. They cared about the original art style, they cared about the characters enough to where they would have their designs pretty much on point. Even to the comedy scenes, the designs in the comedy scenes looked exactly like they were from the manga, so I'm not really unsatisfied with the animation team to the production team. Even the voice actors did a very good job, especially with this finale of the series. And so, if you really want to watch a series, if you want to see a good series from fall of anime 2016, definitely Drifters is your type of series. It's definitely one of my personal favorites, and definitely the conclusion is solid. It's an open ending, obviously, because like I said, there's just no conclusion right now. But I mean, if you're watching this for the first time, and you haven't watched Drifters yet, I do recommend stopping what you're doing and go watch it. It's pretty good. It's definitely a good watch. So yeah, that is the conclusion of Drifters. I mean, how does everybody feel about what's being set up with this finale? With, Mitsuhide, to Nobunaga, to, the war and the strategy, Hijikata versus Toyohisa. I mean, how Toyohisa, he was stating he's not underestimating Hijikata. He's going all in. He'll use any tactic he can to win. I mean, how do you all feel about these little things that were said in this episode and building up for that conclusion? I mean, let me honestly know your thoughts about Drifters. Anime onlys, how do you feel about the conclusion of Drifters? Are you satisfied with the series? Are you going to go off and read the manga? Or are you just going to say, fuck it, I'll wait till season 2, and maybe it might be an anime original, maybe it'll be good? I mean, that's my only concern right now I have, actually, with that announcement. My concern is if a season 2 does come out this year, and we don't get a lot of chapters, it's going to turn out to be anime original, and I'm kind of scared about that, because it's a solid first season, and I would hate to see a season 2 come out, and it's just completely garbage, and I just fucking hate the Drifters anime. I would hate that if that happened. So I really hope that the studio working on this just takes the time, back off, let chapters build up, or if they do OVAs, whatever they want to do. So yeah, that's about it. That concludes my thoughts on Drifters. I had a lot of fun as a manga reader watching it, and it's sad to see it go, but it was good. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.